The reality of best ball season is almost here, less than a month away for the launch of Best Ball Mania 6. What is Best Ball Mania 6 going to look like? We don't know, but we do know the simple strategies that you can use to generate plus EV best ball teams from now until the end of time. Let's learn what they are.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
All right, GM boys, how are we doing on this beautiful Thursday morning? Less than a month away from the NFL draft. We are 21 days away from the big board itself closing, and we are not that far away from the contest filling. I have 31 entries left to do in this tournament. The contest is 75.6% full. I feel pretty good about the pace. You know, we have slowed down over the last couple weeks. They're really National Football League. We've had some pro days. I suppose the biggest things that have happened over the last 3 weeks, since we haven't really been streaming as much, are the Tet McMillan Pro Day, the Xavier Restrepo Pro Day, and all the ramifications of that. But, guys, it's time for us to start thinking, what are we going to be doing in Best Ball Mania 6? Are we going to completely change our strategy from last year? Are we going to draft differently? Are we going to draft the same? What are we going to do? That's kind of what is on the forefront of my mind as we're in the home stretch here. Yes, I think you're probably right. I believe the contest will fill a couple days before the NFL draft. No little board 2 coming. Looks like they would like to get the bigger board and the biggest board full. But let us go ahead and hop in for big board 119 of 150. Big board 119, boys. What a journey it's been. Those pictures of my dog, it's very funny. I took an insanely cute photo of my dog last week, so we're gonna have to update. We're gonna have to update the feeding the dogs slide, because I just wait until you guys see this. My dog graduated obedience school and got a very, very cute little outfit. All right, we are picking from the 1-9. How many friends and family we got here? We got Tanner, we got Biff, we got Vaporware. Hawkberg, I don't know I actually don't know if he is a friend and or family, but I'm very familiar with his username. I enjoy picking out of the 1-9. I'll tell you, I think an interesting thing about the turn picks is, my guess is that this range that is all wide receivers, 9, 10, 11, basically from 6 to 13 is all wide receivers. I promise you that's going to change. I promise you that the 1-2 turn is going to look very different. The 1-2 turn is going to get running backs added to it. I think Genty will obviously be part of that. But I also think that when we get some of the more casual drafters in, I think we're going to see these two fellas right here by the names of Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. They are really going to be propped up. Interesting to see that Neighbors has gone, I've not really tweaked my rankings at the top a ton. Very interesting to see that Neighbors is now the highest drafted of St. Brown and Brian Thomas. I think at even money, I would probably take St. Brown over Neighbors. Is that crazy? I'm going to take Nico here. He's the highest by my rankings. Would also not surprise me if what Mr. Deal Me In just did here at pick 8, Brock Bowers, would not surprise me if he ends up being a first-round pick. Kane is in the 7 spot. Good luck to you, sir. Is it just me, or does Quinshon Judkins feel like the most Sean Payton running back of all time? I think that's just you, brother. I feel like Quinshon Judkins is one of the least Sean Payton running backs of all time. I feel like if I had to say the most Sean Payton running back in this class is RJ Harvey. That would be I would say RJ Harvey seems the most likely to draw the eye. Mr. Kevin Taylor in the 6th spot, GM to you, sir. All right, so we have Nico. Well, and here we go. The aforementioned rise. I do think basically what I'm saying is this. Christian McCaffrey, and I am just going to go ahead and select Devin A. Chain here. Christian McCaffrey is going to end up being a first-round pick. If we get to, a little Sean Payton-y in a Mark Ingram way. Yeah, the thing about Judkins is he's Quinshon Judkins is a fake workhorse. He had one like true workhorse season in college, and that is something I feel that Sean Payton values. But Judkins, well, you know what? I take it back. His 2 years at Ole Miss, he was a legitimate workhorse. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Broncos need to trade for Dylan Laube. Well, you never know. My guess is that the first round ends up looking something like, I think CMC and Genty are going to be firm first round picks, like very, very firm first round picks by, I don't know what, let's call it July 1st, probably. I think they could be very, like, if CMC comes to organized team activities and he's healthy, no setbacks with the Achilles. I mean, you guys give me what you would think would be a reason to not take Christian McCaffrey if he's healthy. Christian McCaffrey is 2 years younger than Derrick Henry. I can't really come up with a convincing reason, particularly if they do not select a running back in the first 3 rounds of the 2025 NFL draft. I can't really come up with a reason to avoid taking Christian McCaffrey. And in fact, I kind of want to move him up my rankings right now. Michael is in the 12th hole. Got the Brian Thomas Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown start, which is fairly nutted. Yeah, JT and Brees are not going to go up. JT and Brees are probably going to be fallers, if anything. I don't think that. I imagine Brees could end up being, I think, a 4th round pick. Even people really do not like Justin Fields. I think you're overestimating how much people like Mr. Justin Fields. If CMC and Genty jump up in a late round 1, are we just getting the same combos at the 1-2 turn? That's a good point, Jake. That is a good point about the combinations. It'll be very interesting to see what, and I mean, don't get me wrong, like, there are also going to be injuries. You don't want to say it, but there are also going to be injuries that occur in the preseason and in training camp that are going to move some of this stuff around. So we have Nico Collins and Devin A. Chain. All right, Draft Caddy correctly points out that I have way more of Xavier Worthy than I do of Marvin Harrison. Definitely have to take a wide receiver at this point. Some chance, I mean, probably not in this room, but some chance Worthy comes back around. So I'm going to even that out a little bit, and I'm going to do a little bit of Marvin Harrison. That is something I'm going to be doing a little bit more this year. Not necessarily balancing exposure, but more balancing team texture. Like, for example, yes, T-Rav, he won the Major League Baseball Battle Royale slate last night. I sent you a congrats in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. 3K to my boy Trivoli last night in Major League Baseball battle royale. So give the boy some congratulations there. I think that is fine to not take players with injuries. I think that's fine. Trading away Jordan Mason could also suggest they believe that McCaffrey's healthy 100%. All right, so we didn't. I mean, it was always a long shot that we were going to get Worthy in this room. These rooms, everyone knows Ball. I have Vaporware with the cold piss boys start next to me. Neighbors, London, and Devontae. Interesting. I don't think I've seen Rashee Rice go this early yet. I was going to take Breece. Breece is gone. You know what? I never get Josh Allen. Let's do a Josh Allen team. I basically never take Josh Allen. I never even really take elite quarterbacks. And I don't think the elite quarterbacks are that good of picks, but we've done a lot of that. But thinking about the exposures thing. So one, I mean, taking Josh Allen there is an example of balancing exposures. You know, if Josh Allen has a 400-point season in 0.5 PPR with how valuable touchdowns are, you are just going to want to have had that guy, you know? But also, do I want to stake my entire season on Xavier Worthy being the guy you need over Marvin Harrison? I mean, maybe last year I would have wanted to, but I don't have that same degree of confidence interval this year at all. And I have a lot of this start, you know, this Nico A-Chain, Nico Henry, Nico McCaffrey, Nico Genti. And probably 50% of the time I have that start, probably more than 50% of the time when I have that start, I do Xavier Worthy. And then 0% of the time do I have that start with an elite quarterback. So it's not so much about the individual exposures. Like, I'm going to be fine having 20% of guys. I'm going to be fine having 16%, which is, you know, double what the field would have. It's more about the texture of the team. So I don't want all of my Xavier Worthy teams to have Devin A-Chain. And I definitely don't want all of my Devin A-Chain teams to have Xavier Worthy. So it's, I think it is the thing to keep at the front of your mind is I don't want all my Xavier Worthy teams to be the same. I don't want all my Devontae Adams teams to be the same. I want different combinations layered in with, you know, the players we really like. You want, like, if you really like, I don't know. So like what Hawkberg did here with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, I think a really interesting thing to do. Yes. I mean, this is exactly what I mean. I am talking about the Jacquard tree 100%. So, for example, what Mr. Hawkberg did here, pulling DJ Moore up a little bit, I don't love the JSN pick, but, you know, because Chase is the one, there are a very limited number of players who are going to be paired with him. So I think doing things like pulling Marvin Harrison up or pulling whoever up, I think is pretty strong. I just don't think I can afford Kittle here, frankly. I feel a little bit behind at wide receiver, so let's do Chris Godwin. Maybe Kittle comes back around, but I would have felt too far behind at wide receiver to have gone George Kittle there. I mean, yes, this is basically the best example. You do not have to pair AJ Brown with Hurts every time, and in fact, you probably shouldn't, because the Eagles are such a low volume offense that if AJ Brown ends up being optimal in a week 17 context, like let's say AJ Brown scores 29 points, he has I don't know, what would that be? That'd be about 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts might only have 21 points in that game and be far away from optimal. This is a good example of it at that 1-2 turn. So you do Jamar Chase, you do Bucky Irving, and then you pull Mike Evans up to the turn here. I don't think you want to be giving up too many points. I don't think you want to be doing it that often, but it feels more risky than it actually is when you are taking these guys. Like, you're like, oh man, I just gave up so many projected points, but you didn't really. give up that many projected points. The difference between, let's go. Let's actually take the aforementioned Quinshon Judkins here. So we got A-Chain and Judkins. We've got Shakir. Oh, man, this will probably be my first Shakir team. Kincaid, Coleman, Palmer. Man, stacking Josh Allen, huh? Not fun business. Stacking Josh Allen, is it? Why are the Eagles planning a Goedert move? I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone has any idea why the Eagles are planning a Goedert move. Doesn't feel like the compensation is going to be that high for Dallas Goedert, right? The compensation is unlikely. I mean, are they going to get a second round pick for Dallas Goedert? I would guess no. Are they going to get a fourth round pick? Maybe. Doesn't make much sense. I will say one thing I like a good bit about Dallas Goedert is either he is going to remain in a system where he's just been really useful for fantasy. I mean, he's never been a smash. No 1,000-yard seasons for Dallas Goedert. He has had a lot of injuries. In fact, I don't believe he has ever played an entire season. But he either is going to return to a system where he's pretty valuable and has like decent touchdown upside, like decent single game touchdown upside, or he's going to get traded somewhere where he likely is going to be in a larger role. Yeah, I think that is about right. That's what it seems like to me, that they'd be better off letting Goedert play out the contract and getting a comp pick. Now they might just think like they are going to know Goedert physically better than we do. Remember, he was out a long time with that hamstring injury. So it's definitely possible that they just think physically he's not going to be the same. Physically, Dallas Goedert is not just going to be a NFL caliber starting tight end. And maybe they really like Luke Lachey. Maybe they really like Aronde Gadsden. Maybe they really like all these guys. Maybe they really like Arroyo and Mason Taylor and Gadsden and all that stuff, and they're like, okay, we're going to take a rookie guy. We've got the calculator, Mr. Grant Calcaterra. We've got him to block. They signed another guy, didn't they? The Eagles signed a tight end in free agency, Harrison Bryant. They signed Harrison Bryant in free agency. They signed Kylan Granson in free agency. And actually, they signed Cameron Latu in free agency, who was a blocking tight end at Alabama. I don't think he ever got on the field. He was a guy in a preseason NFL DFS. But I think, if I had to guess, I would just, off reading the tea leaves, I would guess he probably does not return to the team. But certainly not ruling it out. Well, I was going to take Khalil Shakir. I've been spared that ignominy. Sidekick has it. Ooh. I do not like this pick. This is brutal stuff. I'm gonna do the sidekick recommendation. I'm gonna do Jalen McMillan. Not Jalen McMillan, Josh Downs. I actually don't like the pairing of Godwin and McKinnon all that much. Wow, look at this. Travis Hunter at 76, huh? So the shark has been jumped, I think, on Travis Hunter. No longer a stone layup pick in the 9th, 10th round anymore. Unfortunate for those of us whose bags were not wholly packed. But, what can you do? And the Downs thing, frankly, it does not feel that great because I'm not feeling that good about taking Anthony Richardson anymore. But Josh Downs is just a good player. Yes, I did this. I took all the lowers on Underdog for the BDGE Combine. I took all the slowers. I did not include my boy Mason Dodd, though. I think Mason, Mr. Flock Fantasy himself, I think he could probably beat it. But I took the Settleman brother. I mean, I don't even know all these guys, but I did take all of the lowers. All right. Jaylen Warren or Jalen McMillan. Is there, you know what? Let's just be done at quarterback. Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. We'll take 2 quarterbacks on this team, and let's just be done. None of these picks here were really all that interesting to me. Jalen McMillan, Shaheed, Andrews, Warren. I guess I could have taken a tight end there, but let's just be done with the quarterback position with Kyler at 88. The Deposit Kingdom Hunter video asked for closing BBM ADP predictions when he's going to get there by the time the big board closes. Yeah. Here's a good one for you guys. Where does Travis Hunter go on the opening day of Best Ball Mania 6? His ADP on the opening day. I'm going to guess that Travis Hunter goes... I'm going to guess he goes in the 5th round. I'm going to guess he goes right here in the Tet, Sutton, Addison, Olave, Godwin, Debo range. That's my guess. This is a good question. When they come up, when the Giants or the Patriots or whoever, when they draft Travis Hunter, Roger Goodell announces it. Travis Hunter, University of Colorado. What does he say? Does he say athlete? Does he say cornerback? Does he say wide receiver? Does he say cornerback, wide receiver? If you are watching this on replay, if you were watching this in the afternoon, if you're watching this on Friday, if you're watching this on Saturday, comment below and tell me where Travis Hunter goes on the opening day of Best Ball Mania 6. You tell me. I'm going to guess, if you made me put a number, I'm going to say, what is Chris Olave's exact ADP? I'm going to guess Travis Hunter goes right at 55. That's my guess. 55. Wider back. That's funny. All right. So we have got Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Devin Achane, Quinshon Judkins, Nico Collins, Marvin Harrison, Chris Godwin, and Josh Downs. I'm actually happy to take Shaheed here. Yeah. So I built myself in a 3rd quarterback. If I do want one, I can take Derek Carr. But the running back tier here is so flat. Maybe I should have taken a tight end there. Tight end would have been potentially useful, but I think there's a fairly large tier break at wide receiver after Shaheed in terms of knowing that you've got like an every down easy guy there. Ashmal thinks they're going to say wide receiver cornerback. Yeah, I agree. I agree with this. It is very hard for me to see Carr still starting in week 17. All right. Kelsey goes to the team with Hawkinson. Not going to lie. That is a little annoying. Nate H, you did peeve me a little bit, and it makes no sense. Nate, I don't even know if you're here, but let me criticize you. Oh, never mind. I thought you didn't take Kelsey. I thought you took Njoku. That's fine. All right. I am going to take David Njoku here. He's at the top of the sidekick. Who are we thinking is going to quarterback the Browns? Wow. I went on Mr. Best Ball Guy's stream on Monday. If you guys haven't seen that yet, my man gifted 10 Membies. Go and check out the boys channel if you have not yet. He's recovering from an ACL tear and has been streaming a ton. You guys should go and check him out. He's a good dude. I enjoyed Enjoyed my time and experience on his channel. Good dude. I think I'd quit fantasy if Hunter outscores Olave. I mean, I'm going to be real with you, Lutz. I'm going to be real with you. I think it is pretty live that Travis Hunter outscores Olave, and I'll tell you, it could happen in multiple ways. The first way it could happen is Chris Olave's had 5 concussions since 2020. He's definitely in the Tua zone in terms of concussion concerns, concussion worries. And Travis Hunter might just be him. Like, Travis Hunter might just be an incredibly good wide receiver. I'm not saying you're wrong. If those of you who are Team Lutz here, if you're like, Travis Hunter is a cornerback. Travis Hunter is a bit time player on offense. Travis Hunter is going to run 30% of the routes. You know, there's been periods of time where that has been my thought process as well. I am no longer there. All right. Let's just take Kincaid. Take your medicine. So we've got Josh Allen stacked with Dalton Kincaid. How did I miss out on Keon Coleman? Who took Keon Coleman from me? Kevtay337 said, you know what I got to do? I got to take Keon Coleman away from Davis. So we've got Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Devin Achane, Quinshon Judkins, Nico Collins, Marvin Harrison, Chris Godwin, Josh Downs, Rashid Shaheed, David Njoku, and Dalton Kincaid. Very glad that I took Judkins at this pick here in the 6th round instead of Pearsall, Golden, or Pickens. I would have been tilting pretty hard at this running back run out without it. A month ago, we were talking over under 25 catches on the season, and now he's outscoring healthy Olave. Well, I mean, I can just tell you from my perspective, the reason why I've changed my tune is all of the conversation from NFL guys have been about him playing wide receiver, like all of the McShays, the Kuipers, the PFF guys, the NFL Stock Exchange guys, Brett Coleman, all these guys are talking about him playing wide receiver. And frankly, I think it's about the money. At the end of the day, it's always about the money, and his earning potential is so much higher playing wide receiver full-time than it is. All right, let's just do... Oh, shit, I was going to take Bigsby. He just got snapped off. All right, let's slap it up a little bit. Slappy alert. Bayshell Tootin. You love to see it. It's probably going to be a 7 running back team. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're just chatting, and you know, as always, I remain open to being wrong about everything, and I've gone on both ways. Yes, Hunter, Frankie, you're very sharp, man. Anthony Richardson would be a way better third quarterback for this team because I don't really care about the floor of the third guy. Because if Josh Allen stinks, this team's dead anyways. So you corrected me. Isn't this crazy? Nick has not drafted on Underdog since March 9th, and Higgins ADP is now in the 120s. You know, Jayden Higgins is a really interesting guy. He was an absolute smash to me when he was in the 180s. You know, just like literally, like you don't even have to think about it. But Jayden Higgins ahead of Trey Harris. Jayden Higgins ahead of, like, let's just be real. Jayden Higgins ahead of Romeo Doubs. I don't like Romeo Doubs. You don't like Romeo Doubs. The Packers don't like Romeo Doubs. Jordan Love does like Romeo Doubs. But like, Romeo Doubs is going to score Romeo Doubs is going to score 70 more points than Jayden Higgins. Yeah, probably. Yes. Let me pull this up. This is exactly what I wanted to pull up. Matt Harmon. If you guys are unfamiliar with his stuff, of which I'm sure none of you are unfamiliar with the work. His reception perception was not kind to Jayden Higgins, which, to be granted. So I think there's a conversation to be had about what reception perception actually means. It's not saying, yes, the Harmon chart on Higgins were all red. Now, an all red chart. I mean, granted, it also was not all red, right? This is going to be hard for some people to hear. You don't actually have to be good at all the routes to be good for fantasy. You just need to be good at what your team asks you to do, All right. Let's do Ray Davis. Well, I've got him ranked so high. Yeah, we're going to do Ray Davis. So yes, this is what I would believe. Harmon said that Keon Coleman, that Jayden Higgins is on the Keon Coleman spectrum, has weaknesses, but could be good in the famous power slot role. So anytime you have to start talking about, yes, Andrew, you are right, but I'm not going to fix it. So anytime you have to start talking about, the power slot, I start to get Treylon Burks vibes. And, frankly, we don't want Treylon Burks vibes. Yes. As Rusty points out, anytime I hear power slot, I'm out. Now, that was a really attractive profile when we could take it at the wide receiver 82, like where Jack Besh is going now. So Besh, where is he going now? He's like the wide receiver 8. Yeah, he is literally the wide receiver 82. Higgins used to go behind him. So he was a really strong pick there. I am not chasing Higgins up the board to this point. This player would be good if they just did a totally different thing. Is a good sign the player isn't good usually. Well, I mean, I do just want it. I do just want it on the record. I mean, I think that Higgins is probably going to be a decent NFL player. Like, I wouldn't be. Hold on, we got to do something here. How are our running backs looking? Is there a wide receiver worth taking here? Not really. Where's Richardson at? You know what? I already forgot the name of the guy who told me to take Richardson, but he was right. Richardson is the better third quarterback for this team. This is the Jayden Higgins route tree. So we had a 59% success rate on 9. And also, the red, a little bit misleading, right? So the green curl is at 83%. And keep in mind, this is also subjective. This is Matt Harmon's subjective analysis, right? And Matt would tell you that as well. Matt is like, I'm not God. I don't know everything there is to know about wide receiver performance, but a 70% success rate on getting open on post routes versus 83% on curl routes. I'm not ready to say that this dude is dust. Well, you do not need to get 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns on as the wide receiver 60 or whatever. So I remain. Also this, he's only charting 8 games. That's a good point as well. I'm not saying my take is not Matt Harmon's analysis is bad. You can't use it. Not my take. I like Matt's analysis. I look at these charts. I follow all this stuff, the same way that you guys do. But I'm also not saying because in the 8 games that Matt watched, he was bad at comeback routes. I'm not saying I'm totally out on Jayden Higgins. Also, keep in mind there are many famous examples of guys who were in weird situations in college and got better in the NFL. It doesn't happen that often. It's not the most likely thing, but it does happen. Well, to be fair, Jayden Higgins basically was a very unproductive player before his final season at Iowa State. He just did well. Maybe that's not fair. He was okay in 2023 in a weirder system. Did get kind of dunked on. All right, let's go. Alec Pierce or Isaiah Bond. We have no rookie wide receivers yet. Let's do Bond. Although, I believe Chad shared it in the Discord. The very bearish comp. Yeah, I was wrong. Hand up, I was wrong. Higgins was better in 2023 than my memory. Yep, hand up, that was wrong. Chad shared this in the Discord the other day. Some scout was talking about Isaiah Bond sharing some traits with Jermaine Burton. Doesn't the same thing you said about Higgins apply to Tootin, who you drafted? Well, first off, I have a lot of Jayden Higgins, but what specifically? What do you mean about Tootin? I think we all know the deal with Tootin, which is that Tootin might not have a great intrinsic feel for the game, but he's mega athletic, and sometimes that's all you need. But also, chasing him up the board. Well, the thing is that it is chasing him up the board. So that what is the right way to say this? It is much harder for a good NFL wide receiver. I need to take what do I take here? What do I do? Kind of lost. Kind of need an adult running back. Let's take Justice Hill. All right, Justice Hill. So, right way to say this. It is much harder for a good NFL wide receiver to produce very good fantasy numbers as a rookie. It is relatively easy for a mediocre to average NFL rookie running back to produce good, usable fantasy numbers based on how the team decides to give them touches. Like Trey Benson, if we run back the Trey Benson experience, let's say Trey Benson gets drafted by the Cowboys last year. Does anyone think that Trey Benson would have been bad? My rookie running back philosophy is basically based off draft capital. Like the higher you get drafted, the more likely it is that your team is going to give you touches. Obviously, that's not always true. Trey Benson, very good example of this. Jonathan Brooks last year, kind of an example of how stuff like that can get weird. And I just think that it is my opinion that Tootin is going to get drafted higher in the NFL draft than a lot of people anticipate. Not just because of the athleticism, though. I actually think it is a bit unfair of the Tootin haters to say, oh, well, it was just the athleticism that got him there, because it's not true. Tootin had 50 receptions his 2 years at Virginia Tech. 6 yards per touch. He scored 29 touchdowns. He also, people don't do this analysis as much because we have so much more data now. But, you know, the RotoViz guys discovered this a long time ago, that guys who are really good kick returners and punt returners in college tended to have higher ceilings as fantasy players. And Bashal Tutin was an awesome kick returner. 550 return yards his first year at Virginia Tech with 2 kick return touchdowns. But yes, of course it was the combine moving his ADP, but it's not just because of his athleticism though. It's because the combine elevated the status to which he is going to get drafted. GM Jared, been drafting some dance teams. You doing any NBA playoff drafts soon? I believe this afternoon I'm going to do some NBA teams. All right. The YouTube short I did yesterday about Harold Fannin Jr. I believe every word I said. Let's slap it up a little bit and let's grab Harold Fannin Jr. Yes. Tutin is definitely a Dolphins ass pick. That's real. All right, so we have got Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Anthony Richardson, Devin Achane, Quinshon Judkins, Bashal Tutin, Ray Davis, Justice Hill, Nico Collins, Marvin Harrison, Chris Godwin, Josh Downs, Rashid Shaheed, Isaiah Bond, David Njoku, Dalton Kincaid, and Harold Fannin Jr. All right, I got a question for you guys. Would you guys on this team take one of the idiot Bills, or would you just try and do an unstacked? I assume, Jared, that if you want some good dance content, some NBA playoff best ball, you should check my friends out at the Badge Brothers. Oh, the other question I have for you guys is Demario Douglas dead? I kind of think he probably is dead with the signing of Stephon Diggs, but he also is the kind of guy that's very hard to kill. Yeah, I think unstacked too. I mean, I'm probably going to take Curtis Samuel, but you guys are probably right. Man, that early quarterback does just kill you. That 4th round quarterback, you're looking at your wide receiver room and you're like, geez, man, these dudes stink. All right, let's do Elijah Mitchell. So running back room of Achane, Judkins, Tutin, Ray Davis. So we got my adults in Justice Hill and potentially Elijah Mitchell. No way is Douglas going to be their main slot. Because Diggs has been primary slot. Let me pull up his Pro Football Reference page right now. Because Diggs has been primary slot for like years. Stephon Diggs, receiving. Stephon Diggs, slot. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take it back. 52% last year for Houston, 35% for Buffalo the year before. All right, I take it back. Yeah, Booty is dead. He's not going to be 100% their slot. I think he is going to have limited playing time compared to other years, but all right. So how do we finish this team? We've got Josh Allen stacked. We've got Kyler stacked. We've got Richardson stacked. Running back room of Nico, Marv, Godwin, Downs, Shaheed, and Bond. We probably need an adult here. Could be Gabe. Could be... Oh, God, I almost just said Demarcus Robinson. Someone save me from myself, dude. Demarcus Robinson. Rumors have it Diggs was brought in to mentor Baker/Polk. Just to chime in on this NBA playoff best ball thing that's happening. I mean, I think that the winner has probably already been drafted because there are so many super teams, but Pod Luck and the way that Underdog has structured all of their contests where the the advancement rounds are random means that the super teams are less powerful than you think. Is my point. Yeah, better get a good run blocking wide receiver if taking Texans. All right. Man, I need an adult wide receiver. I am probably going to take Curtis Samuel on this team. Maybe Mac Hollins. Very funny that Tank Dell has an ADP. Roman Wilson could make some sense here. Yes, Joe Milton. Joe Milton was traded for like nothing. Yeah, I think Jared, I think that is totally fine logic for the NBA playoff best ball stuff. All right. 3-6-6-3 build. McCole Hardman, Green Bay Packer is very funny. Rondale Moore? Question mark? All right. Yeah, let's do Gabe. Let's get old Gabe Davis on the team. Deion Johnson going undrafted. Yeah, he's not gonna. Who wants Diontae Johnson on their team? It's unclear to me how Diontae Johnson ends up on a team. I mean, I understand taking him every once in a while because he is a target earning guy, but I don't know. I am not all that interested in Diontae Johnson. I feel like Diontae Johnson had so many opportunities to contribute to teams last year and did not do it. What was he on? He was on 4 teams last year. Diontae Johnson, or just 3. Diontae Johnson was on Carolina. He had 1 reception for Baltimore. He had 2 receptions for Houston. I think he's probably... I mean, certainly I would say the way an NFL team would view him is that he is not good enough to be a troublemaker. If you're gonna be a troublemaker, you better be very good. You know, if you're gonna be a dick, you better be a good player. All right, and we'll take Curtis Samuel with our final pick there. Baltimore cut and re-signed him to get the comp pick. The only reason why Baltimore re-signed him was to get a compensatory pick. My truth serum is that Tank Dell is a good last round pick. I got to be honest with you, Eric. I respect you, but no. Tank Dell just had another surgery on his knee on March 5th. So what if he does play football? I mean, he would be... Has any player come back and played with an ACL injury in 7 months. I guess Hunter Henry did that 1 year with the Chargers. He tore his ACL early and then came back and was active in the playoff game. But yeah, I'm gonna guess. I would say if you made me guess one way or the other, I would say Tank Dell is closer to never playing football again than to playing this season. Adrian Peterson did have a crazy recovery time. True. Yeah. Hey, Tank Dell. The vibes are good, man. The vibes are good. Tank Dell had his leg amputated on April 1st. All right, let's go back and let's see that final team. Final team: Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Anthony Richardson. A lot of running in that quarterback room. Devin Achane, Quinshon Judkins, Bashal Tutin, Ray Davis, Justice Hill, Elijah Mitchell. I mean, there's a lot of work on Devin Achane and Quinshon Judkins' shoulders there. So if those guys stink, we're probably dead. Nico Collins, Marvin Harrison, Chris Godwin, Josh Downs, Rashid Shaheed, Isaiah Bond, Gabe Davis, and Curtis Samuel at wide receiver. Again, pretty low floor in the wide receiver room. And then good tight ends. I guess depending on how you feel about Mr. Kincaid. David Njoku, Dalton Kincaid, and Harold Fannin Jr. All right. Let's continue. Let's hop back in. We are in big board 120. Big board 120. I mean, that's think about how far we've come. Big board 120 of 150. The very first big board that we did took place during the NFC Conference Championship game. It's crazy how bad I need to feed the dog. Yeah, I should do, maybe that'll be the video that I do this weekend, recapping some of the exposures, looking at the first draft, something like that. It's actually a good idea. That'll be the video that comes out on Saturday, which I've been trying to do. First big board draft in like 3 weeks. Yeah, I was grinding dingers pretty hard too. And feels like a good decision. Because the dinger was, peep the goat horns. Look at that. My boy Trivoli showing off his goat horns. Shout out to him. Shout out to the goat horned boy. It's definitely going to be an Aronde Gadsden summer. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to be an Aronde Gadsden summer. Many such cases of the Aronde Gadsden summer. All right, we're picking 1-5, so we were either going to get Justin Jefferson or Jahmyr Gibbs. I think you're pretty happy either way, right? You're never that mad about it. No, well, not going to get Jefferson, so we'll get Jahmyr Gibbs. Sure. Why not? I think we all wish we had the goat horns, brother. I don't think you're alone in that. This is a good question. What would Jahmyr Gibbs ADP be if David Montgomery retired or was cut or was traded? Would Jahmyr Gibbs be the 101? That's a good question. Would Jahmyr Gibbs be the 101 if David Montgomery was not on the Lions? If the backfield was Craig Reynolds, Jacory, Krosky, Merritt, and Sion Vaki. Yeah, great. Rusty's asking the real questions, which is what would Sion Vaki's ADP be? Not high enough, brother. I'll tell you that much. It wouldn't be high enough. The real question is, where would Monty be with no Gibbs? Yeah, that is an interesting question. How high would we draft Montgomery if Gibbs had a season-ending injury? Like Gibbs, week 1 of the preseason, busts his knee. I mean, hey man, Sion Vaki, he's gonna get a fake punt touchdown at some point. You guys laugh. Hopefully future Tate cast guest Lan Larison. All right, we got Gibbs, and we'll take Ladd. Sure. I mean, that's probably a very common pairing. Yeah, that is like a giga common pairing, but I don't care. I don't care that hard about these early pairings. Yeah, they for sure. I mean, they would. The Lions might draft a Damian Martinez type anyway. You know what? The Lions need to be looking for the air as in HEIR air for Montgomery anyways, because I don't think they are the type of team that just wants one guy. Also, I suppose I should know this question. Who is the Lions offensive coordinator now? John Morton. He's been their passing game coordinator since 2022. My one share of Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is loving this Lions depth chart. This is big board 120. So we've got 29 left. Oh yeah, you're about to learn big time about the bye weeks, brother. The bye week brigade is coming soon. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I would assume that not much is going to change in the Lions offense. What remains to be seen about the Lions offense is this fella John Morton as talented as Ben Johnson? Because the touch distribution will not change much. I would assume that John Morton's offensive philosophy is that he's going to do what he was taught. That's by and large what we see from these guys. Although he's a little bit older than you would think. He was actually, you learn something new every day. John Morton was the offensive coordinator for the 2017 New York Jets. That was when Josh McCown and Bryce Petty were the quarterback. They were 28th in yards per game, 24th in points per game. Let's take DJ Moore here. He was an offensive assistant for the Raiders when Bill Callahan was the coach. Okay, Bill Callahan, that's pretty big. He was an offensive assistant for Sean Payton. Then he went to USC, I believe, during the Pete Carroll era. 2009 USC. So he was an offensive coordinator for Pete Carroll. Then when Pete Carroll got fired, he went to the 49ers under Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman. So Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman. He was the wide receivers coach there. Then he went back to New Orleans to be a wide receiver coach under Pete Carmichael. Senior offensive assistant for Greg Olson and John Gruden in Oakland. Then got hired by the Lions in 2022. I don't know, man. This guy might suck, actually. This guy John Morton might suck. Not that I think the Lions are going to suck, but this guy John Morton might kind of stink. Seeing very little evidence to suggest he's really good. He played college football at Western Michigan. He played wide receiver in the Canadian Football League, so he did probably pick some stuff up there, actually. I would say 0% probability Dak to the Browns rumors are true. Let's see. Cleveland Browns cap space. So the Cleveland Browns have $18 million of salary right now, while owing $35 million to Deshaun Watson. All right, do we take Rome or do we take Tet? Actually, we're going to take neither. We're going to take Amari and Hampton. It's just going to be a wide receiver we like coming back around. Anyway, that is a long digression on the Detroit Lions, which is to say, I actually would not be surprised if they see a little bit, if they see a small reduction in efficiency without Ben Johnson. They are, I mean, Morton going to find a way to bring the CFL Rouge to the United States. Well, I suppose the interesting thing is a lot of those CFL guys do have a better conception of like spacing. You know, it was one of the things that, if you guys remember when Mark Trestman was brought here, that was one of the things he was better at, was the spacing and getting the running backs in space. So we've got Gibbs, Hampton, Ladd, and DJ Moore. Would love if the room would give me Rome. They probably won't. We've got Herbert and Caleb live right. Actually, funnily enough, setting up the Chicago stack while talking about the Lions. Yeah, long digression there. I actually do. After looking at that, I actually expect the Lions to be a little worse. Just a smidge, 5 to 10% decrease in efficiency. But, Ben Johnson is a computer. What did he get his degree in? Something crazy. Astrophysics. A degree in mathematics and computer science, after being a walk-on for the University of North Carolina, where he competed as a reserve quarterback behind TJ Yates. All right, stay woke. Just got a question for Pepper. If the Bengals play the Ravens week 17, will you take Lamar at the 2-3 turn with Chase? I will not, no. Someone might, but it won't be me. NFL should book Lions and Bears in week 17, frankly. All right, Trivoli takes... All right, I didn't get either one of my guys. This is annoying. You know what? I've got very little of this guy. Let's just take George Kittle. I've got none of him. These wide receivers all stink. They don't stink, but I don't like them. Computer science is the top 5 easiest degree. Yes, but is mathematics a top 5 easy degree, Andrew? I'm going to guess it's not. Who's winning the NFC North? The Chicago Bears, bro. I believe. I'm like, I feel as if many people were very, very out on the Caleb Williams experience after year 1. Not me. I'm a believer. Big time believer, actually. Matt Patricia got a degree in aerospace engineering, and we saw how that turned out. I mean, the Bears are, it's actually a fascinating case study with the Chicago Bears. They are turning over their offensive line. They have a bunch of picks early in the draft. They hire this super genius, depending on your perspective, head coach. Now, I mean, you can just scroll Scott Barrett's timeline and go find some of the worst statistics you can ever find on Caleb Williams. His pressure to sack was terrible. It was all terrible. But, I mean, for the game we play, for the game of fantasy, Caleb Williams was actually a decent fantasy quarterback last year. Certainly better than you would have expected, knowing his sack numbers. What was his? I mean, his sack rate was brutal. 10.7% sack rate. They trade for Thuney. They trade for Jonah Jackson. And or would they sign Jonah Jackson? They got Drew Dahlman. They could take another offensive lineman, probably 2 offensive linemen in the draft. I personally am not expecting DeAndre Swift to be part of their plans on offense. I would assume the reason that Keenan isn't brought back immediately is he doesn't want to be. Keenan probably just wants to hang out and not be an official employee of a National Football League team. Keenan probably just wants to chill. It's like you remember how Gronk just wouldn't show up. Damn, I was gonna take Pearsall, not able to do it. Let's take Luther Burden, and then whatever wide receiver comes back around to us, we are fine with. In Des Moines right now, you are almost in my neck of the woods, brother. GM. How you doing? Is Jonah Johnson cheeks? I mean, you guys know I'm not going to have a big opinion on these offensive linemen. I do know Thuney is good just from watching him closely. All right, Jonah Jackson. Let's look at his offensive grades by year. Last year for the Rams, 68 run block grade, 59 pass block grade. So not great. He barely played last year, though. I guess he's more of a reserve guy. So maybe Jonah Jackson's not that good. Let's look up this other guy, Drew Dahlman. Very good. Drew Dahlman, 78 blocking grade, 82 blocking grade, 65 blocking grade, 78 blocking grade. Seems pretty good to me. What if Kmet is not undervalued because they take Tyler Warren, brother? Have you thought about it? Oh. Kamani Vidal at pick 72. I'm going to guess he meant to take Najee here. Oh. All right, this one might get tossed. All right, we are potentially in toss territory. My guy back to back. Did he get star methoded? Kamani Vidal and Joe Milton. Is he doing a bit? Oh. Well, if he makes 2 more bad picks, we're gonna be done. Ben Thalo, I would just tell you, as we take Matthew Golden here, I would just tell you this advice. If this is what you're doing, you hate this team after 6 rounds, so you're trying to get the draft thrown out. If you do pout like this, you'll get your account banned. They will ban your account on underdog.com, and you will not be able to draft anymore. So I would encourage you to not do that. Man, pick 72, Kamani Vidal. Pick 73, Joe Milton. I think we might have to tweet this one, boys. I'm gonna guess he did not do this on purpose. Now I don't know how he did it, but I'm gonna guess that he did not do this on purpose. He might be. Maybe he's a stream watcher. Yeah, he should grab Isaiah Spiller. All right, so I'm gonna operate like this draft is not getting thrown out, but we might learn that it is indeed gonna get thrown out depending on what he does with his next picks. But again, if you guys do things like this, they will ban your account. They have they've banned accounts for doing this. Remember, there was that guy last year who was complaining on Twitter, and he was like, "Oh, this guy sniped my stack, so then I ruined the draft." And then Underdog banned his account, and then he just spent the rest of the time complaining. Like, he just complained for like months. I don't remember. I remember my boys, the Badge Brothers, were the ones who sussed him out. But he was like, "Oh, you guys like, oh, I got snaked in this draft. My quarterback stack got snaked, so I ruined the draft for everyone else. And he like actively posted this on Twitter, and they banned his account. So basically, I would advise you not to do that if you like playing on Underdog. I would tell you to not do that. Yes, I actually can't remember it. I can't remember it. He drafted someone crazy. John, do you remember the name of the guy? I'm gonna take Caleb Williams here for the stack. He did. It was the most memeable guy. What do you want? No warning or lesser ban. You want people to come in the drafts and ruin other people's drafts because they didn't. Yes, that sounds right. Yes, Tommy Hudson. That was it. All right. All eyes are on this guy. All eyes are on Ben Halo. Bent Halo. Yes, it was like the Saints or Broncos tight end 5. All right, let's see if this one's getting thrown out or not. I'm really begging Bent Halo to stay woke. All right, well, yeah, this one's gonna get thrown out. That's a little deflating. Here. Bent Halo ruins the fun. Now, to be fair though, I actually do owe you guys McCole Hardman. Yeah, why not? Yeah, this is definitely getting tossed. Ben Tielo is wild. Yeah. We are going to draft the rest of this one out because if you guys remember, I owe you a draft that didn't get displayed. I owe you guys a draft, the stream, what was it, about 6 weeks ago with Liam, where we got in the wrong one and he my draft was not on the screen. This is getting thrown out because Bent Halo from round 6 through 9 drafted Kamani Vidal, Joe Milton, AJ Barner, and McCole Hardman. And now we are going to take Purdy. I don't know. Maybe it won't get tossed. Now, voided drafts, yes, voided drafts don't count, but it will mean that I have streamed 150. And look, I mean, it's a good exercise for true best ball season because there are going to be plenty of drafts getting tossed out then. Just got hit with a Trump ad. No, I can't because this I can't guarantee that this one is getting thrown out. The ones that were absolutely locked into getting thrown out were the Super Bowl drafts. Yeah. Just it feels like yesterday that we were in DeAndre Hopkins. Well, you can see why it matters. Look at the combinations that are available when one person is throwing the draft. You know, when one person is drafting players that do not get drafted, everyone else's team is correspondingly better. And if you are an entrant in other drafts in this contest, you do not want to face those super teams. And by the way, Numi is not at his desk right now. He took a half day to go watch the Twins. Mr. Shane Newman is not at his desk right now. So this is definitely not getting handled immediately. Yes, I will show Numi the name. Yeah. So Mr. Bent Halo, I would encourage you to treat life differently moving forward. Do we take Njoku? Do we take Bateman? My wide receivers stink. No, this team is just actually not very good because I did the quarterback thing. We'll take, on this team, let's take Kelsey. A little 10th round Kelsey. All right, everyone predict what are the create a player names this dude is taking now. Should snipe. I am assuming. I mean, he's auto drafting, so I'm assuming. I mean, I don't actually know. Maybe he's got some crazy ranks in. I actually have no idea how you would have these specific players set up because he is auto drafting. Yeah, his team through 5 rounds was Barkley, Tyreek, Lamar, Rome, Joe Mixon. I mean, not a team I would draft, but perfectly cromulent. Is Hakeem Butler in the player pool? Hakeem Butler is in the player pool. What are the funniest names that are in the player pool? Darren Sproles is not in the player pool. Is Adrian Peterson? No. We gotta find the funniest names. There you go. He took Luke Musgrave. Kevin White. Is John Reese Plumlee in the player pool? John Reese Plumlee and Jack Plummer in the player pool. Yeah, Tom Brady and Duke Johnson are gone. Sad. He followed up Luke Musgrave with Marcus Yarns. I mean, okay. That is actually ridiculous. To fucking know who Marcus Yarns is. To know who Marcus Yarns is and be doing this is insane. To be purposely throwing a draft and take Marcus Yarns. I mean, that is quite something. You know what? I just can't afford let's take Keenan. Let's take Keenan and hope he resigns with the Bears. Yeah, that was sharp by me right there, I think. He's a stream sniper from Delaware. It's Daily Rojo's burner account. I mean, that's crazy. Oh, John, you found it? Send it to me. In Discord. Send it to me in Discord. I want to I want to relive this experience. Yes. D. Mornay Pearson L. Who was a fairly good player in the UFL, I believe. D. Mornay Pearson L. Yes. He played with the Battlehawks, and then he played in the USFL as well. Yeah, well, I'm only getting my Keenan Allen shares in this pretend draft. That's not going to happen. That is wow, Sack, you and I really are on the same wavelength because D. Mornay Pearsonell does sound exactly like someone from the planet of Krypton. Well, this fella is not wasting his own time. Yeah, I'm playing a little bit of UFL DFS. Little bit of UFL DFS. Let's see. Is Jimmy Graham? Nope, no Jimmy Graham. Is Gronk? Nope, no Gronk. Kal-El, no. All right. All right, let's take a running back. Let's take. Who do we take? Let's sort by ADP. Sure, Trey Benson. I've got like absolutely none of him. You never know. You truly never know. Putting my money on Andy Isabella this next turn. Devontae Parker is in the pool. Devontae Parker is in the pool. I mean, that is so good. Dax Milne. Duke Johnson's still in the pool here. Paul Richardson. You guys, when was the last time Paul Richardson played in the NFL? Paul Richardson has not played in the NFL in like 6 years, dude. No, this is crazy. Paul Richardson has not played in the NFL since 2019. He's still in the pool. Paul Richardson has not played in the NFL since 2019, and he is still in the pool. Is Manziel in the pool? Manziel not in the pool. He's going Treadwell. Let's see. We're all waiting on bated breath. Bent Halo. Well, then he just did AJ Dillon. Sure, that's a good one. That's a good one. If you're, this is a poor Ben Halo, man. Ooh, is Daryl Richardson in the pool? Daryl Richardson not in the pool. We hardly knew ye. Matt Ryan. Is Matt Ryan in the pool? Matt Ryan. Nope. No Matt Ryan. Oh, Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson, man. Yeah, all time. We're just naming dudes. Claypool's got to be in the pool, right? Yeah, there you go. Chase Claypool still there. Is Martavis Bryant? No Martavis Bryant. Do we want Jayden Higgins? You know what? I just can't do J.K. Dobbins, man. I can't do it. I want to take Adam Thielen, actually. 2 rookie wide receivers. We balanced our range with Keenan Allen and Adam Thielen, so we got some old guys in there. Marvin Hall. Oh, is Ronald Jones in there? Come on. Ronald Jones. Rojo is still there, brother. My guy, Ronald Jones, still in the player pool. Has not scored a fantasy point since 2022. Is Rashard Penny Penny's? I think he retired. Nope, he's still there. He's still there, taking Adam Thielen on a team that doesn't count. Hey, man, what if this one slips through the cracks? What if it? Dudes will take Trey Benson, but not J.K. Dobbins. I think Megatron has not been in the pool for a long time. Yeah, no Megatron. I don't know. Let's just keep scrolling to the bottom. There's got to be some funny names in here. Izzy Abanikanda in the player pool. Jeff Driscoll, not listed at tight end, listed at quarterback. Remember when Caden Prather used to have an 8? Look, I even have a Caden Prather team. Isn't that funny? Oh, is Corey Davis in there? Corey Davis is in the player pool. Is Hunter Renfrow? Wouldn't be surprised if he is. Hunter Renfrow is in the player pool. Chris Carson. I believe Chris Carson retired. Oh, nope. If you want Chris Carson announces his retirement 3 years ago, and he still has a picture. Chris Carson still has a picture. The veteran running back suffered the injury after appearing in just 4 games. Wow. Incredible. Oh, Fulgham? Oh, man. Travis Fulgham. Nope, no Travis Fulgham. John Ross? Do we got John Ross? If you want John Ross, you can have him. Oh, Jordan Matthews, one of my favorite players of all time. Yes, you can take him as a. Yeah, no, there was no Tyrone Tracy in the player pool last year. Sir, Demaryius Thomas is dead. Let's see, is Ruggs in here? Nope, no Ruggs. You know what? It's a sloppy draft anyways. They can't stop me. We're taking DJ Giddens. Jake Funk. Oh, man. I had real takes about Jake Funk once upon a time. Cole Beasley. Is Cole Beasley in there? Cole Beasley's got to be in here. Cole Beasley. If you want him, he's there. Jordan Reed. I think Jordan Reed. Let's guess. Jordan Reed is not going to be. Yeah, Jordan Reed gone. Preston Williams. Wow, is Preston... I mean, that is an all-time. Remember that, dude? Shaz Preston. I mean, that is a name. Shaz Preston is quite the name. All right, who's he taking at this turn? Who is Mr. Bent Halo selecting at this turn? Who do we think, fellas? What do we think? I'm waiting on absolute bated breath. Oh my God, Ricky Seals-Jones. I lost a lot of money on Ricky Seals-Jones. Man. Yes, guys, give me Alexander Madison, maybe a real player. All right, yeah, you guys got to tell me, who am I taking with my 20th rounder? Racey McMath. I think he's on an NFL team right now, brother. Racey McMath is... No, he's on the San Antonio Brahmas. Is Justin Blackmon in the pool? That would be the funniest thing of all time if he was. No, he's not. Justin Blackmon, not in the pool. OJ Howard. I bet OJ Howard is for sure in the pool. Yeah. I mean, you love the value turn there. Alexander Madison, Emmanuel Wilson. Oh, yes. Chad solved it. We're taking Dylan Laube. Chad solved it. He's not on the Chiefs anymore. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Austin, nope, not in the pool. Let's see. Is Jace Amaro? Nope, no Jace Amaro. Is Jeff Janis. Is Jake Kumaro? Jake Kumaro, though, is. That's racism. Oh, Josh Gordon? Nope, no Josh Gordon. Sure, Javonte Williams, why not? That's a pretty dusty... Oh, actually, no, it's not as dusty as I thought, so that's fine. The rugby tight end that the Chargers just signed, I'm not woke. Chargers are lads. What do we got here? The new rugby tight end, Jordan Pataya? No way this guy is in the pool. Darius Hayward Bay. Not in the player pool. Jordan, not in the player pool. Is Louis Reese-Zamet? Louis? No. If you wanted to take Louis Reese-Zamet, you couldn't. Oh, let's check and make sure Mr. Laird is still in the pool. My boy, my guy. Tough scene for good friend of the show. All right, is Antonio Brown in the player pool? Antonio Gibson is. All right, this is a great way to use our time. Cole Father, Bryson Nesbitt, Greg Ward, Moose Muhammad III, Julio Jones still in the player pool, Lorenzo Lingard. Lorenzo Lingard is in the UFL. I played him in UFL DFS last week. Jermar Jefferson, remember him? Philip Lindsay still in the player pool. Matt Corral, also a UFL player. Jarvis Landry, still in the player pool. Remember Peyton Hendershot? Zach Kuntz. Yeah, Greg Ward is in the UFL as well. All right. Let's actually do I got to scroll all the way back up. Let's actually do, no, we need a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver in the theoretical world where this draft counts. Yeah, we drafted Vidal in the 14th round as a rookie upside last year, and now we take him when the stream turns into a remember that guy spree. I think I think that is what happened. Well, no, he had the opportunity to pick him. He hurt his knee. Hendershot hurt his knee and got released. Oh, I bet Kenny Galladay's in the pool. Kenny Galladay's got to be in the pool. Nope. No Galladay. No Babytron. All right, who do we think he's taken at the 16-17 turn? Mike White, Will Greer, Sam Ellinger just signed a contract yesterday, brother. PJ Walker, Brian Hoyer, Louis Perez, all still in the pool. Is D.D. Westbrook still in the pool? D.D. Westbrook's still in the pool. If you want him, you've got him. Do we think that is what happened? He tried to push Burrow another round and then threw the tantrum. Well, I got bad news. I'm gonna send Mr. Halo's name to the proper authorities, and we're probably never gonna see him again. Oh, he doesn't even have Chase. So this guy's what? Just an idiot? Jonathan Brooks. Tough. All right, I'm going to send this guy's name to Numi right now. User Bent Halo throwing drafts on purpose. I think Zay got sniped from him. Is that what it is? Oh, yep. That's what it is. That is what it is. It was that Kyle Manungai. Kyle Manungai could be a real pick. Kyle Manungai could be a real pick. Daryl Hamlin Jr. solved it. He did. That is exactly what happened. He got sniped on Zay Flowers, picked these two dudes, queued a bunch of losers. Sure. Let's take Shedeur. I don't have very much of Shedeur. Why not? Imagine this draft doesn't get thrown out. Yeah, also imagine throwing a draft because of Zay Flowers. Hard to say. But if you think about it, yes, if you get banned, you do get to keep your winnings, obviously, for a completed draft. But yeah, imagine you get your they don't toss every draft you're a part of if you're a normal drafter. So like I assume this guy has been in other drafts and drafted normally because his first 5 picks were normal. Barkley, Reek, Lamar, Rome, Mixon. It's normal. I promise you I'm not assuming. If he was in normal drafts, those ones are unlikely to get tossed. But if you think about it, the guys who ruin the whole hour-long draft experience, I mean, that's actually worse for the game of drafting than cheating. It's well, maybe not worse, but it's just as bad as cheating. All right. This is a good Ollie Gordon team. Is it? Actually, no. No, this is more of a Kendra situation. It's more of needing an adult. Hampton, Benson, Giddens, Javon. I mean, that might be a bunch of zeros. Kendra could be a 0 too. I think this is not true because also there are sometimes like where guys get banned afterward. This is this is basically the worst advice I can imagine on these games. The draft team at Underdog is very small, and like keeping information from them hurts the game for everyone. Truly terrible advice. Absolutely do not listen to that. If you see someone cheating in these games, please tell someone, because you are going to be decreasing work quite a bit. You have Knicks, Carr, Judy, and 8 wide receivers. I am not taking Devon Vele or Kenny Pickett. Yeah. You also, yes, correct. You also do not want random pods to have crazy super teams. Yeah. Round 20, I am not taking Devon Vele or Kenny Pickett. So I think you're if I had to pick one, I would do Devon Vele. If you made me pick one, I would do Devon Vele. Yes, this is my impression as well. I mean, obviously I'm not privy to 1 second. Yeah, let's just do another Harold Fannin. Obviously, I'm not privy to exactly how the Underdog system works because I'm not an Underdog employee. But I would assume that their auto catch system is based on like total projected points. You know, and maybe, I don't know. I mean, we'll look at this draft when it's in. We'll see how many projected points he has. I think Bond has gone back up a little bit after the 40. I don't know if, I mean, Rock does draft Pickett. Well, I mean, what do you win when you win with Kenny Pickett? No, this is that is extremely not true. It is extremely not advantageous. It would be the exact opposite of advantageous. Would you like to play against 1,000 other entries of super teams? Because I sure would not. Yeah, I don't know how to circumvent them. I'm not a part of it. But I would guess that this draft will trigger a kind of they could start Kirk Cousins, they could start Dorian Thompson-Robinson, they could start Ryan Tannehill, they could start Anthony Brown, they could start basically anyone. And Kenny Pickett, let's see, how many times has Kenny Pickett in his life scored 20 fantasy points? So Kenny Pickett's career, he averages, let's see, I can pull this up. Kenny Pickett averages 9.5 fantasy points per game for his career. So me personally, I said I was going to take the Laird, my guy. So Kenny Pickett averages 9.5 fantasy points per game. So basically, if you take Kenny Pickett, you are just not playing to win. And that's fine. Not everyone plays to win. Some people are bad at the game. All right. Final team: Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy, Shedeur Sanders, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amarian Hampton, Trey Benson, DJ Giddens, Javonte Williams, Kendre Miller, and my Lord and Savior, Patrick Laird. Ladd McConkey, DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Matthew Golden, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, Isaiah Bond, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and Harold Fannin Jr. I would argue that Kenny Pickett is basically in the worst possible situation. This seems also terrible. I just don't want to take guaranteed zeros. Like Kenny Pickett and Jake Browning are just like guaranteed zeros. So I'm not that interested in it. All right, there we go, boys. We wrapped it up. Let's go completed, big board. Oh, I'm gonna have to refresh. Land Larson. You love to see it. Final. Oh, all right. He's definitely watching the stream. This dude took Land Larson. He's definitely watching. Okay. So this dude's account is gonna get banned for sure. Because he's definitely, if this dude took Land Larson, he's definitely watching. All right, boys. We'll be back tomorrow on the channel. I'll be streaming with one Mr. Patrick Corain. Please, if you're still here, there's 162 of you here. How many likes? How many likes on the channel? How many likes on the video? We've got 72. I mean, embarrassing. Before any of you leave, please like the video. If you're not subscribed, please click the oh, yep, let's do this. Here we go. I actually will absolutely do this. Let's do a little quick MLB pick'em. Do I have any bonuses? I probably don't. Oh no. I'm not used to getting the spinning circle on Firefox. We will do an MLB pick'em. Sure, there we go. I've got a no sweat for $10. Let's do a little baseball. Boston at, okay, we'll do Charlie Morton, lower strikeouts. Tanner Houck is pitching. Let's do Adley Rutschman, higher than 1.5 total bases. Colorado at Philadelphia. Let's do... no, let's get a home run. Let's do... That is a terrible number for Schwarber. Who's pitching? Taijuan Walker. We'll do a Max Kepler home run. Bang. No sweat. Did I apply my token? Apply. $10 max. No sweat. Here you go. Adley Rutschman. Charlie Morton, lower than 5.5 strikeouts. Adley Rutschman, higher than 1.5 total bases. And Max Kepler to hit a home run. So there we go. Got us a Major League Baseball pick'em in there. Be a fun little sweat. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys all back here tomorrow. Make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys soon.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated.